Reacher for Amazon Prime, another Jack Reacher story that is a miniseries. I think 8 episodes. Pretty sure it was 8. Might have been 10. I think it's 8. First thing you want to know, is it worth watching? So I'm going to say this. Yes, it's worth watching. Production value is good. I felt like they did a really good job with the casting. There are no huge bona fide stars in this, in any of the secondary and or complementary roles, because that would offset a relatively unknown who's playing our lead, who's playing Jack Reacher, and potentially overshadow him, and they did that on purpose, I'm sure. The people that are in it are very good. They're really good actors, and a couple of them, like Bruce McGill in particular, I've seen him in about 1,000 movies, and he's a really good character actor. Some of the other character actors that are in the series are less known but did a really good job. And I didn't see anybody who was really particularly weak, or any characters that were superfluous and didn't have to be in there. For the most part, it's really well done as far as that's concerned. Alan Ritchson, I believe is his name, is our protagonist, is Jack Reacher. And I was not familiar with him before this. I understand he's been on a couple of miniseries. I think he was on the CW and played a superhero in I think Aquaman maybe or something, and he looks the part. And this guy looks like he stepped off the pages of a comic book. He is a big, big guy, especially in comparison with Tom Cruise, who played Jack Reacher in the movie, some 10 years ago or so when it first came out. So his physical stature is absolutely a part of the character. I think that was also meant to be the case in the books, as I understand it. I've never read any of the Reacher books, but I think I've had a couple of my friends had read them and told me, yeah, in the books he's this really big guy, and that's definitely a part of his persona and the myth of him. He's like Paul Bunyan, this huge dude or whatever, and they got that part typecast perfectly with Alan Ritchson, this character, because he is a big, big man playing this part. Physically speaking, his physicality in the role is excellent, and whoever did the fight choreography and the stunt choreography on this is going to be up for an award, because, in my opinion, they should be, because the fight choreography on this is excellent. It's really, really, really good. Very believable, and not so ridiculous with people like jumping over walls or punching through buildings and some of the crazy stuff you see. It's just good old-fashioned, straightforward, but it's novel enough and unique enough with certain angles and different moves that you kind of haven't seen a whole lot, that it makes it very interesting, very fresh, and very good, very inventive. Whoever came up with the fight choreography is very good. So the overall arch of the story is good. Doesn't lag too much. There's a couple of little side trips where we go and see a young Jack Reacher with his family, with his older brother, to kind of give us a little backstory and kind of show you where he came from, what kind of led him to become the man that he is now, and gives you a little bit of that overarching idea of who he is to arrive at present day. I wish I had seen more of that translate and go across into our protagonist, Mr. Richson's portrayal of the character. I felt like he treated Reacher to be almost one-dimensional, very monochromatic, almost like an automaton, like a Schwarzenegger portrayal of the Terminator or something. Tom Cruise didn't do that. Tom Cruise definitely played him as very singularly focused, mission-oriented, but he did it with kind of a wink and a smile, and I think that may just be a Tom Cruise thing. I mean, Tom's so great at that, and is very endearing in that he always brings that to his characters in some capacity. He's a very likable person. It could be that that's just part of his charm. Richardson probably has that in him to do as well, at least in some capacity, but I don't think he did that on purpose. I think he was trying to show that Reacher had been through so much in his early childhood and like in his military career that he had to steel himself and raise these guards in order to be able to function, which has caused him to lead this life now of being essentially like this wandering traveler who just kind of gets into adventures as he walks through life, kind of like was it Kane and Kung Fu, that old series from the 70s where he would just kind of wander the landscape and run into different adventures and kind of get into that. Seems like Reacher's a modern day Kane, I guess. But anyway, long story short, it's definitely worth watching. It's very well done. Richardson has a different take on the character. His physical prowess and physicality in the role is extremely impressive. He does a really good job with that. I feel like it could have been explored a little bit more in depth with some of the choices that he made with the character, but I'm not going to complain too much. It's still very good. He did a good job. So it's definitely worth watching. I would give overall probably a B plus even, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care.